What's up, guys? I realized that in that last video I didn't give any kind of background, and I thought I would kind of give you a little bit of background about myself. I've been an entrepreneur all my life. That's all I do. I mean, that's all I can imagine myself doing. I've worked for other people, but I could count the number of people that I worked for on one hand, less than one hand, you know. I'm 36 years old, from Alaska, from Anchorage is where I grew up. I was from actually a little place smaller than Anchorage. Anyways, I grew up shoveling fucking snow. I mean, duh. What do you do in Alaska? I grew up shoveling snow, and I grew up in a trailer court. To this day, I mean, I love that place. Good people. It wasn't like ghetto trailer court. I mean, I guess depending on where you're living right now, yeah. How is the trailer court not even ghetto? Whatever, you know. In my perspective, it was a good one of the trailer court choices. Anyways, I was shoveling snow and mowing grass in the summertime. And I mean, I was a little kid. I was like 7, 8 years old. And I'm getting $20. Well, depending, you know. Sometimes they would negotiate it, you know. But you know, I guess worst case scenario, shoveling was probably not always as good as mowing. For the most part, mowing, it was, you know, $15 or $20, mostly $20. Shoveling, depending on, you know, there might not be that much snow, right? Depending on the amount of snow, you know, it was $20 easy if it's 6, 8, 10, 12 inches of snow. But if it's a nice sprinkling, I could still walk around the damn neighborhood and pick up $10 a house. And anyways, I was making money of my own from a very young age. And then I moved to Hawaii I think I was about 8 when we moved to Maui. And I've been collecting basketball cards for a long time, and then we started going to the Saturday market in Kihei and selling. We were actually there. My mom and dad were actually entrepreneurs as well. My dad's been in oil for my whole life, but he decided to take a year off, and they designed a baby swing, a bamboo baby swing. My dad and I would go out in the bamboo forest and cut the bamboo, and we'd come home, and it was this big long process. We'd build these baby swings, and we only sold them at the Saturday market. And we started off selling them for $20, and very quickly realized that was a poor move, because the market was from 6 a.m. to noon, and the baby swings, they would be gone, you know, by 8 or 9 in the morning, depending on how busy it was on that Saturday. It was only on Saturday. And so we started raising the price. The price of the baby swings got up to $65 by the end. And they were always gone by, you know, 10 or 11. You know, they were always gone every single time. We could only make 10 a week. Then we got an order. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so during this whole thing, I'm selling basketball cards as well, and you know, I'd make, you know, $100, $200 a month. I'm sorry, a week, every week. You know, I'd make decent money. I mean, for a kid, you know, when we started that, I was probably 12, maybe 13, but yeah, I'd make, you know, $100 to $300 a week. I mean, that was pretty badass. I'm a huge fan of Gary Vaynerchuk. I love him. I mean, he talks about making, you know, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a week with his baseball cards, and that's why I love him, because we have a lot in common. I was doing basketball cards in the early 90s, early mid 90s. But he sold baseball cards, before I did. He's got a few years on me, and he talks about making, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a week, and I sure as hell never got there. But I was making a few $100 a week on a lot of weeks, and it was, I was a kid, so I wasn't buying beer or weed or, the only thing that I spent my money on was CDs back in the day. Music was my oxygen. That was all I spent my money on. So I had the biggest CD collection of anybody that I knew, teenager or let alone. And I was maybe just 13, and I had a big ass CD collection. That's what I loved. I loved music, still do. People would come up, and I had people donate stuff to me because they're like, "Man, you're hustling. How old are you?" 13. I see you here every week. You're kicking ass. And they would literally come up to me and they would donate different things to me. I had one person donate like 6 moving boxes worth of Pogs. Pogs. They're in Hawaii. They're milk. They're round, cardboard. They're what's used back in the day to close a bottle of milk back when you had like the milk delivery man. Except for they are a game as well. Anyways, they're a big collector's item in Hawaii, and just like thousands of dollars worth of Pogs just gave to me. Everything from just like the little cardboard ones to like pins that lighted up, and like the big fat plastic ones called slammers. Big fat, because you like stack them up and you slam them, and bam, they flip over, and whoever flips over the right way, you get theirs and they get yours. Anyways, it was fun. I loved it. But the point is business. Business since I was that age. Since then, I've done everything from, we had a silver business. Part of it was just buying and selling silver. Part of it was actually designing and having the silver made into molds, or they're called lost wax molds, where they, anyways, probably not important. We were designing jewelry at one point. We had there's been a lot of businesses, we were sending bags to Singapore, high dollar bags, Kate Spade and, designer bags. We're sending them to Singapore from Houston, here where I am now. And we had a person who accepted them, took care of all the issues with receiving them, and sold them for us. And right now, I have a food manufacturing facility, and I'm not a millionaire. I haven't made my millions yet, but we've always done, right now, my job is making tempeh. We make tempeh, which is a soy meat substitute, basically. It's a soy product. It's from Indonesia. My wife's from Indonesia. I grew up in Indonesia, so I said Maui, and then Alaska, Maui, and then when I was 14, I left Maui and went to Bali, Indonesia. And I was there from 14 till I got married and came back to Alaska. I was there for 8 years, in Bali for 8 years, and then I came back to Alaska in 2004, and then we came to Houston after we were there for some years. I love change. I love moving. I love new shit. I love new businesses. I love I'm constantly, my favorite, my candy store is Barnes and Nobles. I'm like a kid in a candy store. I go to Barnes and Nobles, and I can spend like 3 hours choosing out books. And then I try to take advantage of, you know, the Starbucks. So I'll like take this big fucking pile of books over to Starbucks, and I speed read, even though I mean, I'm not like the guys on TV who can completely, you can't quiz me and I can remember everything. But you'd be surprised. You speed read often, and you pick up, you get more than you realize, and you didn't realize how much you got until later when you're recalling. Anyways. But the point is, even in speed reading, I can only read one book while I'm sitting there, so I'll walk over to a pile of books and read one of them and have to go put the rest back on the shelf because I'm not an asshole. I'm going to leave them on the table. Anyways, I thought I'd give you a little bit of background. Probably doesn't make a shit, except that's what made me who I am today. So... see you on the next video. Peace out, guys.